Welcome to an informal talk about AMCS, the Advanced Music Construction System. I'm Q. You can find out more about myself and this system at the official website amcs.thirdevent.net. In this collection of videos, I'm aiming to put together enough material for an hour-long techno set. This will eventually be recorded live and aired on the Inverted Light Source show I co-host. The set will consist of 12 tracks, progressively getting harder in style. These tracks are split into 4 sections, each roughly 15 minutes long, with an intro or interlude of some sort leading in. I will try to explain how to construct each track from scratch, and will likely edit out any boring bits or excessive waffling. Hopefully this will help gain insight into how AMCS works and how powerful the live performance aspect is. The Yamaha RM1x on camera will be used as a sound module. Only preset upon this are some of the dials are customized for tweaking, and all of the channels are set to maximum. The black box on the shelf is the WW7 workstation built by us. You can find out more about this device on the official website. This is video about track 2. So yeah, basically what we got to do is load up what we've been doing. Okay, erase the panel, load the song, and click lock. Okay, and we basically got the song that we were working on prior to this video, in the previous video. And the first thing before we start making music is I'm going to address that issue I was talking about in the last video, where I've gone and installed the presets in bank 0 where they needed to be in bank 1 really. For the previous track, we're going to shift up the presets to bank 1, and then we're going to work off of bank 2 for the track we're working on this video. So in order to do that, on the mix panel, the number next to the store preset buttons is the bank, and we can change that with the at key on the keyboard and use shift and at to descend the bank. Recall preset 0, and then we go up to bank 1. As you can see, that's changed to 1 now, and then control 0, and then that stores that in preset 0 on bank 1, and then we de-escalate back down to bank 0, recall preset 1, go up to bank 1, and store preset 1 in bank 1, and just keep going. So as you can see, in bank 1 all the presets are now copied up to 4 at the moment, and we go down 5, go up, store 5, go down, recall 6, go up, store 6, go down, recall 7, go up, store 7, go down, recall 8, go up, store 8, go down, recall 9, go up, store 9, down, recall 10, go up, store 10. And that's all I'm going to do at the moment because we're just doing the first 10. Well, first 11 because it's 0 to 10. So yeah, those presets are now stored into bank 1 for track 1. So with bank 0, I'm going to completely clear it now, and this is probably the quickest way to clear it, is to home and end will raise the level all the way up to the top, or bring it right down to nothing. Silent, basically. The quickest way to go through all these, you could set the default as well, because it currently defaults to 192, which is about 3/4 of the level, because it goes up to 256, which is a common thing throughout this software. I could set defaults to 0 and then just default all, and it will set them all to 0. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to quickly zip through and just do a quick key shuffle on it. Okay, so actually forgot to say in the last video, and I do say it on the tutorials, the block on the mixer, the top half of the block is the track and the bottom half is the level. And in the track editor, the top half is the track and the bottom half is the position. See, as I go across it goes 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2 and shows you the level as well. So I'm going to blank 0 just for the sake of it, okay? So end, we just do that until we get all the way to 7F. Oh, missed one. You can pretty much see how quick AMCS is from this. If you look on the right, there's a miniature VU scale of the entire levels in the mixer. So that will give you an idea of what's being cleared as well, as you can see, as all those lines go from being bright to dim. And then eventually, by the end of this rank, we get to 7F, and that's it. So that's all of the first 128 tracks made silent. Now this is useful to start from. I mean, I know from an initial point of view, when you want to start hearing stuff, you won't hear anything, because obviously the mixer's saying, no, we're not letting any of the notes through. Basically, what you got to remember is that once it's silent, you just raise the level on the track that you want to start editing, and then work from there. I'll show you in a minute. But for the minute, I'm going to make sure we're in bank 0, and then I'm going to set all of the presets as silent. And I'll probably be working from this template of silence for the next few tracks as well. Just makes it easier in terms of when you add a new track and you're working with presets. The tracks that I've worked on before, they don't bleed into the track that you're working on, and they don't bleed into each other. It deconfuses things a little bit, because it is quite complicated when you're working on 12 tracks. Let's store these anyway. So Control and then the preset, which is escape, is 0, and then F1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you might think, what have I not gone to 11, 12? We just do it up here for sake of demonstration. You can use the panel. I know I've been using the keyboard all this time. The keyboard's just quick, but you can use the panel. All the buttons on the panel pretty much relate to the keyboard in some way or another. Certain things like settings obviously don't, but things like tempo and octaves and stuff like that, that's all on the keyboard. I'll do this now. If you press P, this is for people who are sight impaired, because AMCS is now pretty much fully cooperative with anybody who's got a vision impairment. If you press P, it will highlight the panel, and then you can use the cursor keys to locate the button you want to press on the panel, and then just press either right or left depending on what kind of function it is, because sometimes it will highlight two buttons. So say it's an up and down, it will highlight those two, and then using left and right you can go up and down, if you see what I mean. And then you just press P again to deactivate the panel from the keyboard. If you are sight impaired, the whole system will read back every single option in AMCS to you, theoretically. Again, with the panel, as you go through the panel, it'll read out what the buttons mean. I know I'm going off piece now. But to switch the sight impairment vocals on and off on this keyboard, it's the application key, as they call it, I think, remember rightly. You recognise the logo. It's not the fruit with the bite taken out of it. It's the other one. The one with the stone thrown through it. Right, so anyway, going completely off piste. So we've cleared the bank out for track 0. Now we're working on track 2. So we go up to bank 2. And I'm going to do the same with bank 2 in terms of clearing all the tracks to silent. Well, the first 128. Because like I said in the previous video, you can use all the 256 tracks, or you can use 128 and then later on load that set you've made or song into the upper half of the 256 and then switch and load it into the lower half and just keep going on for hours on playback. So the other bits are, let's use these buttons, demonstrate that I am using the panel as well. Yep, okay, that should be, when I do a recall, nothing should come back, it should all be silent now. And then you basically got to remember, when you're working on track, make sure it's enabled with some sound. Because we've loaded in what we've been working on, the 909 kit's already set up for us. So back in the mixer, let's switch the labels on so I can see where I'm at again. So we're working on track 2, which is a kick. Yeah, because it's always good to start with a kick if you're doing techno. Just get a bit of basis to the whole thing, isn't it? So yeah, so we're working on that. We want to default that. Press space to default the level in the mixer. Or you can press the default button there. And like I said, the other one's the default everything. Absolutely everything in this system is explained on our website. So if you get lost with the icons, because it is all icons, there's no text. It's more a aesthetic compression of everything on one screen. There's that age-old kind of, I don't like reading through lots of text, you know, having to go through layers and layers and layers of it. Well, this basically just assembles everything on one panel and one screen. Everything is just kind of in one place. And that theoretically should speed up using the system. So as you can see, we've gone to the track editor. There's nothing there on the track editor at the moment, so if we... Now we've already used that kick. This way I had all the kicks lined up together. You can see that I've already used that one. So we're going to find another kick. If I got another one. Sure, there you go. Right. That one. I think that's the same. There you go. That one. That one. Let's do that one. Bit bouncier than the other one. I'm going to stay basic with this at the moment. I'll keep it 4/4 because these first tracks, like I said, I want to just keep it as is. Yeah, so okay. So we set up the loop. The overlays won't show if you're over the top of it. I know that's a bit confusing, but it's just so you can see the note when you're working on it. So yeah, so there's your basic kick. Didn't take very long, did it? And let's do the tom, which should be on here. Right. I'm gonna go with something. It should be noted that if you press 2 keys at once, AMCS will spread out into the other tracks, but it won't overwrite anything that's already existing in the next track. If you press a chord, it'll do it across 3 tracks, because you can press 3 keys at once. I know that was something that you could never do in Tracker originally. Dunno. I'm gonna go with sticking with the 4/4 and maybe some flourishes. Right, you see, because I've got the level set to 0, you can't hear it, of course. So if we unmute it, yeah, so you get the gist of that. I can edit this all whilst it's playing. We're just muting the tracks and just adding stuff at the moment, so. I've used that one before. No, I haven't used that one before. I don't maintain knowledge of all the kit sounds, I'm afraid. I have to go through them. Yeah, so leave it with that one. Again, we're going to stick with the 4/4. So yeah, probably not going to do any probability with this, I don't know. We'll see where we go with it. Snare next, I think. Yeah. No short snare. Sure, I had some stubby snares on the 909. What we can do is we can make those chops glitch. So you'll get this random roll sometimes. But where are we going to put it? There, I think. Let's try that. Okay. So the function for that is 1 in 8 chance. 0.12 for each 1 in 8 chance. Right, so no, we need to go the other way. We need to make it glitch more lightly. So you get the idea. Let's do the bass. Yeah, so we'll do the bass next. Probably do something really boring. I don't know, we'll see. So take a quick look at the MIDI for the bass on here. Okay, that's cool. That's easy enough. Right, so we're going to name this track 02 bass. T02 bass. Okay, I'm going to set to channel 1 like it was on the other track. Alright, so B0 3F 2000, and then because we were splitting it, weren't we? I don't actually know what the basses are. Let me double check. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like I said in the other video, the control messages on some of the interfaces have to have banks split into two because you can concatenate them. Yamaha stuff generally does understand concatenation on a standard MIDI interface, but because we're using USB to MIDI, the USB MIDI way of doing things is a bit different to MIDI generally. It's not very good at compressing data down USB quickly. You have to sort of compartmentalize what you're sending. So basically we've got bank change, most significant 63, bank change, least significant 0, and then the program change, and then whatever instrument we're about to use, which I have the manual. Scary thing, but you have to look at the manual because obviously you wouldn't know what the instruments are. We're going to select a bass. MG bass. Don't know. Let's try 1F. Not into that. 1E. It's a nice sort of paddy bass, but I want something a bit stabby. This way I always end up going into the percussive basses, but I'm leaving them alone at the moment for some reason. Trouble is, this is probably my first time extensively using the RM1x. You'll have to excuse me. Don't get me wrong, I used the DJX to death back in the 90s, late 90s and early 2000s, playing live on it. Wrote loads and loads of music for it. But I always thought, was the RM1X better than the DJX? But it's pretty much the same, really. I think the RM1X has more sounds, which is good and bad at the same time. So, actually, let's try 18. I would read out the names of these. Let's try that. It's cheesy, but. That's going to sound cheesy as hell. I apologise. I'm sure I'll change it in a minute. Let's put some chops in there so it's stabby. I fancy, because I went down a note there, didn't I? Trying to escape me, panel. Yeah. Now, this is probably a prime time to show you the tweakability of the Yamaha DJX and the RM1X. I've got on this, I think this is default cutoff and resonance, and then on these I've got reverb and chorus. This is probably going to be blasphemy. I hate reverb. I hate reverb being overused, but I do like it a little bit, just a touch. It kind of makes it sound like it's in a room, which is a bit better. But it's ever so light that I put in it, and the same with chorus. I'll put chorus on things which I want to sound wide, so not the drums. Leave the drums alone with chorus unless you absolutely want to go completely berserk. But the bass and the leads, generally the leads, if I want the leads to sound really wide, I'll just add chorus to it. And reverb. If it's something that benefits from having lots of reverb, then I'll chuck it on there, but generally just be really cautious with things. So what I just did there, snuck off and then snuck back on the track editor. I've set the channel to channel 0. Now the thing with channel 0, which is MIDI channel 1, with these you can set the remote channel coming in to be the one that is affected, and this is where the panel basically affects those. Weirdly, on the MC303, which is the other groovebox I use that for exhibitions and stuff like that because it's compact. If you put that in sound module mode, it just switches off all the panel, which is crazy, really. I always admired that Yamaha were a bit forward thinking in terms of being able to tweak stuff whilst you were using it as a sound module, which was nice. This said, I have a PSR keyboard, and it's one of the really monster ones. I guess the mid-range, not professional, but the higher end of the PSRs, the 4500 and the 4600, and that has 2 roll bars on it, and the sounds are great. With the roll bars on the single channel, you can make it more expressive, bring it in and out a bit more acidy, or make it build up and then shrink. But if you switch it into the poly mode, where it can receive all the channels and you set multiple instruments, it just switches it off. So you've got no control over the expression with the roll bar when it's in poly mode, and it's really annoying. It's something that Yamaha obviously thought to rectify later on in time, which was good. It's something I never really thought about until I started to realise instruments didn't have that feature on. I just used the DJX so much I just thought, oh, well, that's how it is, but no, apparently not. And in a studio context where you're just using that synthesizer for that one sound and you just want it to just do that one thing, that's fine. But if in context like I do with AMCS, where you want to use one box for multiple things, it's a bit of a pain, them not allowing you to tweak stuff. So I'll give you an example of exactly what I mean. Get the gist of that. You can make that grow and whatnot. Like I said, these control the reverb and the chorus. I don't think I've set the other ones up to do much. There really wasn't much else in terms of effects that you really would want to tweak on the RM1x and the DJX. Reverb and chorus were pretty much the drivers of things, because that was the thing about the DJX. You couldn't access half of the effect stuff through the panel. But with AMCS, obviously, because you could dig right into the MIDI, you could change it into effects which were hidden, which was nice. There's a thing called overdrive, I think, on there, or analog amp effect on the DJX, and they're not visible on the panel at all. But they're actually quite good effects. and I used to muck around with that all the time. So yeah, one thing I didn't do when I had the technical hiccup in the last video is I forgot to switch on shuffle again. When you load something in, shuffle is disabled by default. Shuffle isn't set when you load in the song, or it's not saved with the song, purely because you may not want to change shuffle between set runs, if you see what I mean. You may want to keep it the same throughout the set, so it's basically left well alone. What I probably could have done is made it so it's locked and it doesn't load it in, but for the time being, just remember to switch it on when you need it. So yeah. So there you go. So let's add we've done the snare, let's add the ride. The rides didn't seem too exciting on this kit for some reason. So I'll have to probably experiment with it like we did with the snare. Right, so we get off the bass, back on the kit. Sleigh bells. Why would you need sleigh bells on a kit? I don't know. That's tempting me to use it now. Okay, right. Let's see if we can use the sleigh bells. Glitch, I think. We'll make that one glitch. Let's try that. We're doing it the other way around, aren't we? We're making it unlikely to glitch. So we've done ride. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to put in misc, because that's the next bit. So 62, misc, Cynthia effect sort of thing, maybe? Let's just call it effect. It's not really an effect, but one thing I should mention is that you you must keep the instruments off each other's channels. Don't get me wrong, AMCS will handle it, but your instrument won't. Your instrument will probably start warring with itself as it's trying to switch between two different sounds. So yeah, keep them on different channels, which is MIDI channels, of course. And you've got 16 of those, unless you've got multiple interfaces, and then it kind of spreads out, 16 per interface. Let's see what we can come up with. So B0, 003F, B0, 20, C0 there. Right. I'm going to see what's in the sound effects. Okay, that one's apparently 6. And the first sound effect is Trance 1, which is probably going to be really cheesy. Don't know. That sounds very Doppler effect. Yeah, so they're very pad sort of things. What's a funny CPU? You really don't want a funny CPU. Is that a funny CPU? I haven't got a clue. I'm just going to set that as a loop so we just have it playing around. It would make a bit of noise, but now that's an interesting sound. Now some of you might be thinking, what? So the bass was A, wasn't it? So let's just assume that that's tuned the same. So there you go. That's pretty much the crux of what we're trying to achieve, hopefully. So, as I said, we're still on bank 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all tweak these. I always have the kick maxed out, depending on what kind of kick it is, of course, because some of them tend to completely override the mix. Okay, so that's interesting. You see, now some of the sounds, when you change the velocity, they have like a resonance, or they kind of change their tone. This is one of those sounds. It doesn't go quieter, it just changes in sound, which I kind of like. I may show you an effect path of that one. I'll assume that all the levels are set correctly there for that one. The mix sounds okay for that to me. These headphones aren't particularly great. I'm sure I'll go, no, what the hell was I doing? Let's set that to all the presets. Going back. I think I always start with a kick anyway, so just do the kick for the minute. Kick only. We'll store that into preset 0. I think that was the last one, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So zip all the way back. Control escape for the first one. And then we definitely don't do hats next. I'm going to leave the bass actually. No ride until later. Bass I'm going to leave on. Misc I'm going to leave until the last minute. And that's in 1 at the moment. No, right, okay, that settled it. So, yeah, I'm going to mute bass and then bring that in a minute. So, let's take those off. Bass I'm going to leave out for the minute. I think hat was still enabled, wasn't it? Yeah. So there you go. So, and I'll probably fade the hats in as well. I can show you how that works actually. So we'll switch automate on. You can change the rate of the increment as well, so slower. Again, all real time. Okay. That was the hat, so we go kick with toms and hat on 2 and 3. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that. Turn off automate for the minute because it just fade everything in and out all simultaneously. Ride and snare don't come in yet. Maybe cheeky and just drop the kick and just have the bass there. And bring the kick in. So that's 3. Don't know whether I actually drop the hats there. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so we're not doing ride and we're not doing misc. I think the snare comes in next. We're on 5, are we? yeah, so you get the gist of that. That's pretty much track 2 done, I think. I did say I was going to put some automated effects on that, but I might leave those till later in the videos and later in the tracks. Because I've got that bass on channel 0, I can't do automated effects because the RM1x dials will override it. I could put it on the MISC, which comes in, which is the croak, but I couldn't put it on the bass. No, I don't think I'd add much if I had that croak coming in and out as either as a wave or having a filter on it. I'll leave it for the minute. Just try and keep these tracks simple, these first 3, just to sort of ease people into the set. So yeah, that's it for this track. I hope I've explained everything. I'm sorry the last bit was just me tweaking around, but you got to hear roughly how the sequence was going to sit together. I hope that showed you enough about AMCS to sort of at least do a techno track. And you can see how fast it is. It's not a particularly slow process. You can sort of motor through it. It becomes a bit of a planning mission. That's the only thing. So keep your wits about you when you're setting up your tracks, especially when you're working with 12 tracks. You just got to keep your wits about how everything sits together. So there you go. Anyway, thank you for watching.